Olá pessoal, estamos
Olá
de
pessoal,
volta,
estamos de
uma aula
volta, uma aula
especial. Hoje a
especial. Hoje
gente tem simplesmente um grande amigo, um produtor excelente, ganhador de vários prêmios também muito importantes. E sem mais delongas, let me introduce you to you
introduce
guys,
to you
Mr.
guys,
Steve.
Steve.
What's up? How
It's
you doing?
it's on air.
It's on
It's on
air.
air.
It's on air.
Man, I miss you,
Man, I
man. I
miss you,
miss you a
man. I
lot.
miss you a lot.
I miss you too. It's been too long. How are you? How's everything in Brazil?
It's okay.
It's
It's
okay.
okay.
It's
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
it's been a
It's
war.
been a war.
Yeah,
Well, you
Well, you
you you had the
you
same
had the same
issue.
issue.
yeah,
Well, you guys in
You guys
US are
in US
back on
back on
business.
business.
yeah. I've been touring again since like middle to end of March. So
Wow,
it's
that's
you know it's
amazing.
That's
here.
amazing.
It's crazy. I mean, every state is different. You go to Florida, it's like it never happened. Yeah, and I was in New York, since the beginning, and we were fully shut down till about a month ago, or maybe a month and a half. And so now things are opening up, and pretty much everywhere is open now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we
Yeah, we
still have a
still have
few months. I
few
think in
months. I think
October
in October
we're gonna be
we're
better,
gonna be
and
better, and
December I think
December
gonna
I
be
think gonna be
normal one.
normal
So
one.
still
So
Yeah.
a few months
few months
back.
back.
But
But
I would like
I would
to
like
ask you
to
first
ask first
if you
if
can
you
describe
can
yourself,
describe
like
yourself.
1 minute
1 minute
for our
for
students about who you are, etc. I
Uh,
know
I know
everybody
I'm
knows you,
a
everybody
but
knows you, but
yeah. So I'm a DJ producer, born and raised in New York. Um, Started DJing when I was very young, and then got into producing music, and that was my two passions in life. And
how old are you
how
now?
old are you now?
I don't want to say. You gonna put me on the spot? Come on.
Okay,
I'm not 21.
you looks like
You looks
very,
like
very,
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 very young.
very,
You
very
looks
young.
like
You looks
26
Thank
or
you.
like
Thank.
26.
I appreciate that.
so
That's good enough.
you've been in the
In the
industry
industry
for a long time.
for a long time.
Yeah, about I guess. Uh, Look, I mean, I started producing in high school,
Wow.
Wow.
and then um, through college, I released. But the first thing I ever finished really was I sent to Marcus Schultz, and he signed it. Nobody knows this really. It was under another name, and he called me on the phone, and he's like, "I want to sign this to my label," and that was it. He put it out on Cold Harbor, and when the next time he was in New York, he played, and I just seeing the reaction was like, I was like, this is what I want to do. And then from then on, it was just learning as much as I could about producing, and one thing led to another. I had a friend who, I was learning a lot on my own, but his dad had a studio in New York, um, and I was able to do an internship there and learn more about like engineering, and then just relationships. You're the king of relationships, and you know better than anyone. How important that is. And I got lucky. I met a few people who introduced me to a couple other people, and at first I was doing more production. My goal was to be an artist, DJ, producer, but I got very good at producing. So a lot of other artists were like, "Hey, want to help me with my production?" So that was for a few years what I was doing. Um, Obviously, working with Cedric Gervais on his stuff. We won a Grammy for the Lana Del Rey remix,
Which is
and
amazing.
Which is amazing.
and also my first time in Brazil, I went with Sharam because I was working on
Yeah,
some mixing and stuff for him. And one weekend he's like, "I'm going to Brazil." I was like, "I want to go to." He was like, "I'm playing Green Valley." I was like, "I would love to go there." And so I went with him as his tour manager. I didn't do it. It was so funny. I was like on there as his tour manager, but obviously I was just there having a good time.
did you have fun?
Did you have fun?
Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah. Green Valley, and I
It's
forget
amazing.
where
It's
else.
amazing.
Um, I think he played in Florianopolis the
P12
same
maybe?
day or something. It was like a beach club thing.
P12.
I
I
can't
think it
remember.
was
Any
P12. Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
And
and
then you came as a DJ and as an artist.
yeah, and then obviously, I guess the next step for me was Cascade. I was releasing some stuff on my own, and he was probably the what really broke me as an artist. I had done a
Was
couple
your
tracks
turning
with.
point?
I think so. Yeah, I to touring. So I guess the first turning point was the stuff at the time that I did with Don Diablo, which was before that. We did a track called "Got Me Thinking" that was so different at the time, and everyone was playing. Cascade was playing it. Tiesto was playing it. Steve Angelo, who signed it. So it was off that record that everyone started to recognize my name, and then Cascade was like, "Hey man, I've been playing this track. Like, keep sending me music." And I was sending him stuff, and then there was one track that I sent him, and he was just like, "Man," he's like, "I really want to help you, And he said, "Sign with my manager. Let's do a collab together. I'm doing this big album tour. I'll bring you on the whole tour," and that really opened things up for me. Um, and then at the same time was when I did the track "No" on
It's amazing, simply amazing.
yeah, and that was which I didn't know, until you brought me to Brazil for the first time. It was knowing that the Shy remix for Magician that I did. I had no idea that it was everyone knew it in Brazil until I
Really?
got there. Yeah, literally, like I had. So it blew my mind. I was like, "Whoa, this is crazy." That obviously, uh, ALOC and Vintage Culture and the Jet Lag guys were like friendly with me because of those songs, but it was that
Yeah.
yeah, so that era I think was the turning point for me to transition to being an artist as Sid.
And
That was more than
it,
1 minute, sorry.
no, we are chatting. We are friends. The majority of the students, they are the beginner here. So basically, what I told them is you need to focus, of course, on production.
Yeah,
If you don't produce, at least try to find an engineer, someone that you can share your ideas.
yeah,
But I also told them that is right now it's very important to pay attention to marketing,
yeah,
spend some money, to invest some money on marketing, because otherwise you're gonna have an amazing track unless you sign, okay, in a big record label. Unless this happen, you need to invest some money, spend some money on the marketing. Otherwise, you're gonna have a big record and nobody will know. Do you agree with this? Do you know yourself? Do you invest some money on Instagram, on paid advertisement, on Facebook? I don't know whether.
yeah. I mean, I do definitely um, some advertising on Instagram. Um, I think for
Did you
me,
feel the
it's
difference? Did
content.
you feel something?
Yeah,
It's worth.
yeah, it's worth it. Look, I mean, not just the advertising, but just content in general, right? So, it's an investment, but every show we try to get make sure we have a photographer that's gonna shoot all my stuff, just so we have content. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
content is king. And then with the releases, you know, even a bigger label, you might not want to rely on them to do all the PR. So, we'll invest in PR promo company like Listen Up or one like that. And, I did it for the last EP that I did on my label. And we got a video out of, Fatboy Slim and Eats Everything playing it in their car, when he was doing they were doing this series where they were DJing while they were driving around.
Uh-huh.
And it's people you wouldn't normally get it to. And it's, yeah, I think now more than ever, like you said, there's very few artists who aren't brand focused that break through. I would say maybe Camel Fat. I don't think they have the great branding, but their music is just so good, and they're just releasing. For a while it was like every 2 weeks they had new music out. So they're just so prolific as producers that it almost doesn't matter.
Hmm.
But then there's other artists who maybe the music
In You need to
Yeah,
balance. You need to balance
yeah,
because we don't
100%.
have
Yeah, yeah,
so many music.
yeah. And that's what you need to do. It. Everyone else is doing it. That's
By
for
the way,
sure.
how did you handle during the pandemic? Did you release more music than you used to do? You keep the same, or did you
No, I
save the
pulled.
bones?
I I pulled releases. I just didn't want to release stuff. I mean, especially for the U.S., touring is revolves around new music, right? So I thought it would be better to hold off on releasing new music,
So you
and
hold.
I did. Yeah, I
Okay.
did other things. I did some remixes. I did like a project for CBS. Um,
Did
like
you did you hold because you believe that when everything is normal, you're gonna have a lot of DJs spread it out on the dance floor. That's the main reason.
I don't know. I mean, I just thought for the last like 2 years I've been just focused on club. I'm trying not to do crossover vocal records. So it's hard to release club music when there's no one in clubs playing it. So I think that because of that, I put out a few things, but in reality, if a club song starts getting played by other DJs, it's gonna grow.
Yeah,
But without clubs, it was 2 weeks and people
yeah,
were like on to the next thing. Granted, looking back, there's certain artists that I think have blown up because they pushed music. Like John Summit has blown up because he just kept releasing music through the last year. There's a UK guy, Chapter and Verse. Also, I discovered
yep.
him. I don't know, maybe 6 months before everything shut down. We did 2 records on my label. The guy was putting out music like every week, and it helped him grow a lot. More
Yeah,
so than a lot of other artists. So you know, I think for me it was that formula, and now maybe what I didn't realize is no one knows when things were going to open up. You look at obviously Brazil, things still aren't open. So
yeah.
I don't know. Nobody has the right answer. You know.
Yeah. I asked the same uh, to Cascade like 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and he said the same. Man, there's no wrong, there's no right. You
Mm.
just. But I agree with you because you can take an example like the music Love Tonight from Vintage Culture. Of course, the reaction because you guys in US came back earlier than us, and the buzz that became this music because of the Alesso playing Live, blah blah blah, David Guetta before he did another remix, etc. So this was very important for not for vintage because he's huge, but I think this was a kind of his
I think
passport to
that broke him
US.
in. I
In
know vintage
US.
is huge in Brazil, but I think for the U.S. it helped him.
For US,
Kiko,
yeah.
yeah, Kiko sent that to me early on,
Yeah.
and I sent it to my friend Mednis, who's a resident for Live and Story
Oh, cool.
and Komodo, and so he was playing that probably before anyone, and they were doing a big kind of like Tulum style party on Thursdays, and it was crazy. I mean, it's it's probably the song of the year easily.
Yeah.
The remix.
And if there wasn't parties, you would love the
Yeah,
music, send to your friends, but your friends, oh, that's very good.
yeah,
I'm going to listen in my car 3 times per day. But that's it. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So I truly believe that, makes a huge difference when you have the dance force, right? And
Especially now more than ever. You look at like especially underground, right? You look at Michael Beebe
uh-huh.
and those guys. What is their whole like formula? Is they get a sick video of them playing in front of a crazy crowd and then promote it through, now on Instagram there's so many different Instagram channels like Tech It Deep that have hundreds of thousands of followers that's all they do is post these videos of uh different DJs playing unreleased music. So I think that went away because there's no one playing anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, but that's where we're going. It's not like here. I think if people want more like organic content, that's like wow, like that's cool, and again, like same thing for Love Tonight. It was as soon as those videos started surfacing of people going nuts in Tulum and in Miami, then the song really started to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to ask the final question. It's very important for us as well because I've been also telling my students that maybe, well, this is my opinion, okay? So I, I said to them, like, look, I think the first person that you need to be at your side, and this person, by the way, is going to be responsible to help you out with a booking agent and all the guys that you're going to hire, you know, through the pathway of your career, is the manager. So I would like to, you know, get your opinion about that. How important was for you, or how important is for you to have a manager, and what is your advice for our students?
Yeah, I think you. I guess the main thing is you want the people that you work with to be excited about your project, right? So you want them to feel like they discovered you in certain ways. My experience was different in that I literally found this lawyer's email, Ed Shapiro. I think you know Ed. And I just called him and he picked up, and I told him kind of what was going on at the time. That I needed a lawyer to look over some things, and I didn't know that this guy was Cascade's lawyer. Was a lot
I
of
think
people. It was a
she
less.
is Rihanna's lawyer,
Yeah,
something
Rihanna. He's doing
crazy.
like crazy. Mariah Carey, like crazy shit. And I didn't know even that he was Cascade's lawyer. You know, I had heard he does like a lot of dance stuff. So for me, he was the connector. Um,
Ah,
and so he connected me to Cascade, and then he started introducing me to different. The first obviously step was management. So I agree. I think the manager is the most important part, because yes, at the end of the day, the booking agent is the one who is getting you the shows. But if the booking agent doesn't see that you have a strong management behind you, then they're gonna second guess what signing you as an artist.
too early,
So
too early.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'd say manager than agent. Sometimes I mean things change. I was one. I won't say a name, but there was a very big booking agent in the U.S. who wanted to. This was pre-Cascade. Wanted to be my agent. Wanted to be my manager, and I was like, I don't think that
But it's
you
not
can
it's not
do that.
allowed in US to have the same company, right?
Exactly. So I
Or
was
in
like, I don't think
California.
that's legal. Yeah, but it was someone who's broken a lot of artists. And I was just like, I don't. What I saw was, really important to me was have someone like Cascade, who has a fan base, who can be like, this is Sid, this is my guy, and that's what he did. So that really helped me in the U.S. Um, but a lot of that was Stephanie signing me, and Stephanie, obviously, him Cascade willingly wanting to help me and stuff, but Stephanie being like, hey, let's make sure we do this and that and fighting in different to make sure that I'm getting the right looks on different stuff. But yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, my friend. As
Thank
I
you.
told you, it will be very, very fast. I'm gonna just say bye to you. Please stay a little bit in our amazing green room. I'm gonna put you in our green room. I'm gonna say bye to the students. Just a second. Esse foi o Cid, um papo bem legal. O Cid é um produtor excelente. Quem não conhece, eu acho que vale a pena entrar no Instagram dele, no Spotify, conhecer produtor de mão cheia. Inclusive tem o seu record label. Cara, muito bacana. Obrigado, pessoal, por essa aula especial. E a gente se vê numa próxima oportunidade. Tchau, tchau.